Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Barbados Black. We are getting ready to do a jersey design for Kofi Collections for Asian Pacific Islander Month, and we have a bunch of designs to do. So let's get right into it and get ready to submit our design. Let's go. And what is up, people? How are y'all feeling? Good afternoon, good morning, grand rising, whatever your vibe is. I hope you have a great day. Good evening. I'm shooting this at nighttime. It's like 10 o'clock. I just got done with vocal practice, and I was working on a commission for the past few days. But I was sent over this information to do a possible jersey collaboration with our local Pittsburgh Penguins. If you know about sports, then you know there's a pretty big hockey team. One of my, I would say, associates, I guess, is running different programs and different things, and he has this opportunity for different artists to get a potential to do a jersey with them. So I figured I would throw my hat in the ring and see what it was given and see if it was something that we could do. This particular jersey design was for a Pacific Islander month, like the Heritage Month. And I actually thought that was super dope. If you don't know, I'm actually married to somebody who is half Hawaiian, so I think it's pretty dope to pay homage to my baby's family and everything. I think like the culture is super dope, and I've been learning more about it up close and personal, and it's actually quite interesting and beautiful. The way they view family and finding out that there was different islands and princesses and queens and things like that. I didn't know a lot of the history, so I've been finding that out up close and personal. It's super dope. For this one, I did some research and I wanted to look at different Hawaiian and Pacific designs, and I came across a lot of different ones. So I figured I would go with the thing that I think for me was most indicative of them, or of the culture rather, which would be the water. Water is the key to life. Water, without water, we'll die. And everybody, you can live without food for a while, but you can't live without water for about, I think, like 3 days. So I decided to go with waves, water, to represent that carefree, flowing nature aspect and that vitality and vivaciousness of the Hawaiian and Pacific Island people. I wanted to do some water that was more abstract, and I wanted it to feel like a wave washing over us. And then I also incorporated that with some of the fauna and flora from, Hawaii that I've seen, a lot of the beautiful flowers that they have. And so I wanted to do that along with the colors that they have for that one. So right now, you see me going in with this is called a monoline brush, I believe. I have got a set of these brushes a while ago, and I love these brushes. I use them for different things, but I really like to use them for stuff like this, for outlining and making really thick, smooth lines. There's a thick one, there's a tapered one, there's a jagged one, and then I think there's like textures in there. I want to say it's like grime, I think, and then I think the other one is, I can't think of the other ones. It might be heavier grime. But what you just saw me do just now was draw, and then I flipped that over to the other side. Since it's a jersey, I wanted it to mirror. So I'm trying to keep that motif design and keep everything pretty balanced. I'm going into each section of the jersey. That right now I'm working on the collar, working on some of those designs. And like I said, since we're going for waves, you'll see the waves starting to come together now. If you can't tell, once we get to the color, you'll definitely see it. But I felt like I really wanted something that felt just flowy and very free. And I really liked, like I said, how this was coming out. I like using this brush. If you want to get any of those lines like that to kind of, sometimes we'll just use it for a circle, but if you want to use that for smooth lines, you just draw it out and hold it. And then you'll see me now going in and flipping over to the other side. So everything that I did, I probably could have just put the mirror aspect on, but I don't really like to use mirror. I like to have a little bit more control for some reason. I used to use Adobe Illustrator, but this is the one I wanted to use. And now you'll see me going in with the color. I just wanted to use the color dropper, something very simple. Now, do you see that wave? That wave is waving. But no, really, I love how the wave looks. It really looked really pretty. I like those colors so much. Using a limited color palette is something that I'm getting used to. I'm trying not to go too crazy, because if you see my regular artwork, I'm very free with color. I really love to use every color I can find, as long as it's cohesive, but I love to use colors. But when you're working on a jersey or something like this, it has a limited color palette, so you want to keep it fairly readable. And I didn't want to go too crazy with the colors with this one. They said no gradient, so it was literally just flat colors and patterns. So I felt like I tried to go with something that I felt like would be eye-catching and still work. I think the contrast of the blues, a lot of those blue hues, it's like a blue-green, I guess we'll call it aqua, and teal, were really nice, along with that, not fiery red, but it's like a warmer orangish red. It's like a red-orange almost. And then I had to use some of the other colors from the heritage flag for the Pacific Islanders. I believe the colors were yellow, blue, this red, this fuchsia maybe color, or I don't think it's lilac. I think it's like more of fuchsia. And then always have my leaves. I really was in love with these leaves. I love doing the leaves with the dark on the one side and light on the other side. It was coming out really nice, and I was loving how it was looking. I wanted to still try to figure out a way to blend all of the limited colors because, like I said, I didn't want to go too crazy, but I still wanted it to be readable. And so you'll see me zooming out periodically to make sure that it still looks cohesive and it's still readable, because I'll have to flip everything on one side to the other side. And then I decided to kind of make it like a sleeve, if you get what I mean, like a tattoo sleeve. So that's why I went with a black background for that part. So that way it kind of be like a tattoo sleeve, because they tend to have like the tribal tattoos. A lot of times when I think of Pacific Islanders or Hawaiians or Polynesians, I tend to think of those tattoos that they'll have in the sleeves, and I think that's something like super dope, super beautiful. I would love to get a sleeve, but I hate the pain of tattoos, so I probably won't get any more. But let me know in the comments, do you have any tattoos? How many do you have? I have about 2. I have one of a phoenix, because I feel like as many times as I failed, I always try again, and I really relate to the phoenix way of rebirth. And then I have another one that it's just a regular tattoo, it's nothing crazy. And what you just seen me do was go in. Sometimes when you move things over and you mirror them, they don't flip exactly like you would like. So then I just essentially went in and then I flipped it. And then when you feel, if you hold it down, it'll let you do the amount. And I just increase the amount until it completely covers that entire part. And right now I'm moving the base color that I wanted to do for the base of the jersey down. I'm trying to figure out how I want to freak this, how I want it to work. And this is the Penguins. Shout out Pittsburgh. Shout out Pittsburgh Penguins. This is me just trying to figure out what's really going to work and what's going to create that standout aha moment, if you will, for the image. Everything that we do, like I said, has to be flat, so it couldn't be a gradient. But I still wanted to do something that I felt like showed the colors that I really felt like most importantly represented the flag. So I was really trying to get that down and get in there and do that. But you'll see me go out of lines a couple times because that feel was the whole thing. And then it just felt like, usually when you feel things on here, it'll do the whole thing, and then you can just make a clipping mask to it. But for some reason, with the way I guess the jersey was, I thought I had that the penguin was on a separate layer, so it was just showing through. So I had to go through and outline the penguin to make sure that all the lines were together and covered. And here we have pretty much the design. It's just about finish. As you see, I ended up changing the base of the jersey from red because I felt like the red was too bold, and I went with more of the watercolor, something I felt like was flowy, that felt more like a Hawaiian shirt. You know, when you see those Hawaiian different shirts that they'll have in the stores, for example, like an Old Navy or something like that, I went for something more of that nature, and I said, okay, I can play with that, and then I can really get these colors to pop, because the opposite of yellow is purple. So I said, well, let's use that golden color and that purpley color together as a backdrop, and then that should pop with the rest of that. So I think that looks crazy good. Let me know what you guys think. But that pretty much wraps up today's episode. This was me drawing in Procreate, and that was the jersey design. So fingers crossed for me. Hopefully I get selected for Pacific Asian Islander month, and let me know what you guys think. I'll have more digital artwork for you guys soon and more music videos. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day though. Bye. Barbados Black on all platforms as well. Okay, bye for real now.